Hey. Carl Bryan here. Hope everybody's doing good. Ready for another Profit Acceleration Q&A. I'm here with my man Patrick Bell. Yo, Pat. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a good day. There's good stuff happening in Kelowna, BC. So what could be better?
There is sun shining, buddy. Sun shining where we are. Kinda. Not shining brightly. But that being said, it's much warmer than it has been the last few days, so that's a good thing. A good thing. Anyways, hope everybody's doing good.
Hey, just for everyone, today I met our new developer, William's new partner, met Kelvin for the first time.
Bingo,
I love this guy. He is so fun to hang out with. So we are going to do some good stuff with the Kenyan office.
There we go.
I really like him. So we got a good new teammate has come in to help William get things going faster. It's great news.
That is it. And he is a beauty, eh? He's a great guy. I need him. He's a ripper, man. He is a ripper. And he will be working, for those listening, he will be pretty much going to be starting. He's given notice at his job, but we want him to do the right thing, and he wants to do the right things to make sure that he can finish up existing projects. And he will be full-time with us in roughly 30 days from now. So there you go. So exciting times here, folks. Exciting times. But again, acceleration has already started in terms of he's pretty much on board and taking projects very shortly to accelerate all this stuff. So there you go, folks. Exciting times. I'm just looking for something here, guys. I got a couple questions, and I don't have it, but that's okay. All right, so, look, let's get into, as you guys know, the format here. This is a Q&A call. Need you guys to ask some questions in order for this to go. So if you could do us a favor, plunk your question into the chat box, or, of course, you can just raise your hand, and that will be I got it. Hey, and before I get going, guys, I've got a number of you, some of you guys are asking about last night's call. And in fact, Pat, could you do me a favor? Could you whip open Digital Acceleration Jumpstart for us, please, buddy?
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to find that link, and it's
I got her.
But Adrian's typing as we speak, so he's coming.
Yeah, I got her here. We're all good.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I got her here. No worries. Yeah.
Cool.
So
in the new tab.
Just take me to. So last night, guys, if you weren't on the call, what we announced is virtual. So every year we do Business Coaching Mastery. So this will be our 6th year. We've done it all over the world. We've done it in the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, Las Vegas, Cancun. I think we found ourselves a home in Cancun. We all love Cancun. I love Cancun. I think you guys love Cancun. Feel very comfortable there. So it's coming up in a number of months. It'll be in Cancun, but obviously with COVID and all the wonderful realities that we live in currently. So we're not able to do it right now. Like I said, I should have been there. I should probably be lying on the beach right now with an amazing tan. But instead that I am here in Kelowna, counting my blessings because we got a little bit of sun today. But anyway, so we should be there. So what we are doing in the interim, much like everybody's doing nowadays, is we're doing virtual Business Coaching Mastery. So there you go, you legend. So that's it's November 13th and 14th. Guys, you are gonna want to jump all over it. We have got last night we opened up and we had like Jen Richter gave a little bit of a, kind of, what do we call it, sprinkle on top in terms of what she's going to be talking about. Everybody is tasked with basically exactly what you're looking at if you're looking at your screen. If we took everything away and you started again and you had to go from $0 to $100,000 in 90 days, what would you do? And again, a lot of our heavyweights like Jen Richter, we opened her up. She used to work at NASA. You probably know that name if you hang around the Facebook group and whatnot, but like she is a heavyweight, celebrated in the Dan Kennedy world, been a client of ours for a very long time, does some very cool stuff. She's going to give you her talk on exactly how she would do exactly this. Marshall Silva will be there. He'll be doing that. We opened up Becky Auer. She sold her last restaurant for, I believe it was $7 million. She's in the Dan Kennedy Marketing Hall of Fame. I actually asked her last night, how long have you been a client? And she said 11 years, kind of blew me away. But she's been a client for 11 years. And again, if you're hanging out in the Dan Kennedy world and whatnot, she's pretty big news, and she's been with us for a very long time. Anyway, she'll be there chatting. Who else do we got? We opened up, who else did I open up last night? Peter Lawson. He's going to show you. He's he's been an accountant for 35 years or whatever number it is. It's a long time. Been in private practice for over 2 decades. I think he said 22 years. He is going to show you how to get a joint venture done with an accountant. Remember, we have over probably 100 accountants that work with us now. So again, accountants are a different breed, but if you speak to them correctly and you put the right offer in front of them, they are all over it. Anyway, so what we are doing is we're doing virtual business coaching mastery. You have to be a client. Ever since the very first one that we did, there's one rule and one rule only, and you got to be a client to get on our stage. So everybody who's spoken since the first one and that will be speaking at the virtual event is a monthly client of LPW. So that's kind of cool, knowing that not only are they going to show you how to go from 0 to 100 grand in 90 days, but they're utilizing the same membership site, the same software, the same tools that you are. So anyway, so that's going to be happening. It's pretty exciting. As a little bit of a bonus, and that's why I got Pat to open the digital acceleration software. Get this: if you register, look at that handsome devil, Pat. I get better looking every time I see that photo. Holy smokes, man!
Is that Photoshop?
Yeah, I know. I probably make my nose look a little straighter and maybe a little smaller. But apart from that, I'm a handsome devil. But anyways, but guys, what we're doing is we're throwing this in as a bonus. Once upon a time, well, not so much even once upon a time. If you want us to write a book for you, basically $2,000 is the $19.97 is kind of the price that we put on it. You get this thrown in for free when you register for the virtual event. So if you look at Pat's screen there, it's just no results - no fee, right? Like our domain name, no results - no fee.com/BCM6. So that Business Coaching Mastery 6. So if you go there and you register, and again, it is there's the price right there, stop right there if you could. Thank you, Pat. It's $397, or you've got the option of paying $47 a month for 10 months. So there you go, $397, and basically you become an author. Like we create another book for you, and then there was another screen that we opened up. Pat, if you could actually just go back down. And one of the things that we encourage you guys to do or to be thinking about, like think about if you had a trilogy of books, like if you weren't on last night, and a lot of you weren't. And I'd encourage you to go watch the recording so you can see the whole thing. But one of the things you want to be thinking about, picture this that says Digital Marketing with Carl. And imagine I had another book that said Business with Carl and then Marketing with Carl. You see the way I've got the same theme going out throughout all 3 books, like Digital Marketing with Carl, Marketing with Carl, Business with Carl. A lot of power there, guys, when the accountant, the business broker, the network organization, the chiropractor, the dentist, the business owner goes to your website and they see not only you an author, and we all know, and no doubt most of you have experienced it, how that takes you to an entirely new level. When you've got a trilogy of books and then they have a little bit of a theme over top of it, like I gotta tell you, it's going to take you to the next level. So you guys have already got, I presume, a book with us. And you could, if the name is out, like say the name is Secrets Business Coaches Don't Want You to Know, or something along those lines, you could always do a volume 2 and then, go along the lines of Digital Marketing with Carl. Look, is that the best name in the world? Absolutely not. But what I'm trying to bring across is the magic. Or maybe what you could do is Secrets Business Coaches Don't Want You to Know, Secrets Marketing Coaches Don't Want You to Know, Secrets Digital Marketers Don't Want You to Know, right? So there's a slightly more powerful version of what you're looking at there with Digital Marketing with Carl. So anyways, we're throwing that in for free. If you guys want to register, get your butt over to BCM6. But again, there's a couple of questions in here, so I figured I might as well just address that right now before we get cranking. So I hope you guys like that. I most definitely hope you register. And the digital marketing book is designed to complement digital acceleration software, obviously. So seems like a good idea for you guys. So anyways, there is that.
So
What I do need
make a note on that too,
Oh,
Carl.
Pat.
Yeah, we got
Yep,
32
please,
chapters, and of the 32 chapters, you'll get to choose 10 chapters. And you know, besides having them written for us and then me editing them, and then coaches coming in and doing the edits on them, we also then hired a professional editor to come on top of the coaches and make sure everything's squared away. So hopefully we've got a great product in the end. Just practical advice, and you can go in and choose any 10 chapters you like. And yeah, there'll be a document where you can see what the chapter's about and what we're going to cover in that chapter. So you can choose it from there.
There you go. Yep. High five. Thanks for it. Then you could also throw in a couple of your own chapters. Like if you've got, you know, you've written a fair bit of content on goal setting and a fair bit of content on time management, or what have you, 80-20, what have you, take it, plunk it in. There's chapter 1 and 2, and then you use the digital marketing, you're going to adjust them to talk a little bit about digital marketing. That just makes sense. Don't just put goal setting at the front of your digital marketing book. Talk about some of the goals they should be setting for their digital marketing strategy, right? So anyways, good stuff. Good point, Pat. Thank you for bringing that up. And on that note, let's get some action from you folks. I need some questions here to get this ball rolling, guys, other than what we do. Beautiful. Martin's always giving me good advice. Okay, hang on. Troy Noonan. We are coming for you, my friend. You are live, Troy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, fabulous.
Good. Hey, I was going through the training videos there this week, and got to the part about adjusting the report at the end of your assessment.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to do that for every assessment, yeah?
Well, it's the first one will take you longer.
Yeah.
So you're going to take a bit of time. You're going to create a template. And that's what the videos are about. Here's how you create a template, make it look really nice. Then in your template, highlight the areas in yellow that you think you'll be changing with every single client. You save that as a template. And then when you get a new client, take the template, save it as a new document under that new client's name, and then go in and edit it from there. So yes, you'll do that with every client going forward.
Okay.
But, the first one will take you an hour maybe, depending on your skills with a Word document. And the second one's from there, 15, 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, right, okay. All right, cool.
Yep.
Beautiful, Troy. Anything else we can help you with there, buddy?
No, just working my way through it. It's all good.
How's it all going so far? Getting there?
Yeah. Just getting in front of some people, just getting actually ready to do some of those reports. So, my word skills are okay, but obviously not as quick as what you guys were moving through it on the video.
Yeah. So you'll get there though. Like I said, practice makes perfect. So do feel comfortable as you do it more often. You'll be sailing through it very shortly.
Okay.
Awesome, Troy. Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna put you back on mute. And again, line your questions up there, folks. My boy Martin's always got some great advice for us. So we're going to Martin. He's put something in there. Let's open up Martin. If you guys don't know who Martin is, he is a legend in the business coaching world. Been around, I don't know, he'd rival Dan Kennedy in terms of longevity in this space. Yo, Martin, are you there, buddy? You're self-muted. If you want to say hello, unmute yourself. And if you don't, it's all good, buddy, or if you can't. And I don't think he can. So there you go. All right, guys, we need a couple more questions. Hang on a sec. I'm going to open up. Who am I going to open up here? We need some female energy around here. So I'm going to Diane Strasser. Too much testosterone. Diane.
Hello from Arizona.
Diane,
can you hear me?
Give us some estrogen, woman.
Hello
please.
from Arizona. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can. How are you going?
Hello from Arizona. Can you hear me?
Oh, you must. Can you not hear us?
I can't hear you. Hello?
Oh no.
All right, something we're in there.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Diane. We gonna put you back on mute. I wonder if she's able to. Yeah, that's odd. But anyways, that's okay. Diane, sorry we missed you. Speaking of some estrogen, let's have a look. Let's go. Martha Zakowski. If that's not a cool last name, I don't know what is. Martha Zakowski. We are coming for you. Oh, Martin's. Okay. Well, Martin, we'll come to you in a sec here, buddy. Martha, you got to unmute yourself, my love, if you want to say hello. We don't have an abundance of women here today. So there you go. So Martha, the pressure's on. The pressure's on. Okay, we're going to move. Martha, if you open up, all good. Just we'll come to you in a sec.
Carl.
Martin, yes.
This is the first time in my life where I've heard someone invite two different women to speak, and I've just heard silence.
You're going to get us in trouble, Pat. That's the kind of thing I would normally say. Well done.
All right, Pat.
Oh, there we go. Oh, hang on a second. Okay, Martha.
I couldn't resist that one.
Martha, you just stepped him down, didn't you?
Yes.
You're like, hang on a minute. What the hell is he saying? I'll show him.
What?
Here she is. How's it going, Martha? What's happening?
We are here. I'm representing.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Exactly. Cool. Tell us a good word, Martha. What's happening?
Oh my gosh. Well, we had the Chamber of Commerce, expo, and we're slightly disappointed because it seems that the 40 or 38 people that showed up weren't really the type of business owners that would be. Well, they weren't owners, right? They were franchise owners or people representing companies, like, well, I don't know, JD Edwards, is that good or not? I don't know. But then again, I think we're going to have lunch with him because Edward James, I'm sorry, because we proposed, using what we have for his clients that could potentially help him out as well. So we're going to see where that goes. Yeah.
Yep. And by the way, I always say this, right? Like I'll have a room of, let's call it 20 people in front of me. There's an accountant, right? Well, that one accountant has 400 clients. The one individual, this is why, again, when you do your events, you got to, just here's an example. I know that you probably heard me say this in some way, shape, or form in the past, but, we do an event and then we assessed whether or not it worked and of course you should do that, right? But what you really got to do, you got to hammer out 10 events. And like this one guy might end up sending you, and it might not be 10 clients, but he might send you 2 or 3. If you did an event and you got 3 clients, you'd be pretty happy, right? So just keep pounding and keep getting in front of those audience. But that's exactly what tends to happen is that one person in the room can be worth, it's the 80-20 stuff. It's the 150, right? It's like that one individual can be absolute magic. But that's okay. So keep telling us about how did it go? Did you feel strong and confident, like you do a bang up job? And how'd you feel?
Well, we think we did. What do you mean? What happened? You come here.
Oh.
What? No, I'm not going to say that. No, I was so stressed out. All right. He wants me to tell you I had a mini stroke, but you know what? I'm good now. I'm good. So it all turned out a lot of stress, but it's okay. Good now. We're ready to rock and roll.
Your hubby wants you to tell our group that you had a mini stroke. Is that right?
I died, but she had a mini stroke.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, I love it. Damn.
I don't know why he wanted to tell you. Oh gosh. But anyway, everything's great now. But yes, it went really well. We were prepared. We looked great. I mean, we had the best table. Let's put it that way. I'm a little prejudiced, but I thought it was great. People were interested in what we had. And we'll just see. We'll see. You never know. Sometimes people just have to think about it a bit. Before they make a step forward. So, but we got the list of the people that were there. with their emails. Thank you very much. And so our next step is to actually, do a follow-up and just say, is there something that we could help you with, or do you have any questions about what you heard, about our business? So that's what we're going to do. Yep.
Good job. High five. And then get your next event ready to rock and roll. Get promoting that already, right? That needs to be part of it.
Yep. You bet. Mm-hmm.
And also, let me just, so don't think for a second, you mentioned franchise owners. Don't think for a second, two things with franchise owners. One is that, don't worry about that. You can, maybe they're not going to be willing to pay $3,000 a month type of thing, because there's obviously some restrictions and, there's some parameters and some hallway walls that they need to follow. Like when anybody listening that doesn't understand, when you buy a franchise, anything that you'll have head office, and anything that you're going to put out there, any marketing material will have to go through head office before you can do it. It needs to be approved, right? Pretty straightforward, which can dampen our coaching relationship and make it a little bit harder. But that being said, there's plenty of magic that you can provide a franchise owner. But let me tell you what you can do there is you can go to the franchise and try get to the franchisor through the franchise. You follow me, right? Because I don't need to meet the franchisee to know that they're disappointed in the franchisor, and I don't need to meet the franchisor to know that the franchisees are a bit of a thorn in their side, right? It's a 101, right? So anyway, so that's also something to think about. So don't think for a second, though, if somebody's a franchise owner that they can't be a coaching client for you. Just FYI.
Well, it's good to know.
Cool, bananas. Well, look, good job on your first event. So here's the only thing I'm going to close with. When's your next event? You got it booked yet?
December. In 2 months.
And why in December?
Month and a half. I don't know why. I mean, that's the next chamber event for business owners in the area. So it's really wide open to any more. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I got another question for you. Actually, this would be for the benefit of everybody. So this was a chamber event. Like they came to a chamber event as opposed to a Martha event. Is that right? And
these are chamber members. It was like it would have been a networking event, only it was an expo for members.
Yep. 40. Okay, I remember you. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the next one they have, is open to all business owners within the area. So there's, several more, like 1,000. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so these events are good, but let me I'll just tell you something here you can take to the absolute bank. What you will find, when there's a chamber event and then the chamber invites the folks to your chamber event, your conversions will always be significantly less than if you take them into what I'm just going to call your own four walls. Okay.
Gotcha.
And the chamber's an excellent location, by the way, but you follow me, like they were coming to a chamber event and then Martha was speaking. You want them coming to a Martha event that's going to be hosted at the chamber. But that being said, you should be doing both. But maybe I'll give you another example. Just BNI. Okay. So I go to BNI and then I stand up there and I do my dealio, and then I'm going to have X conversion. That conversion will be significantly watered down if I go to the BNI members, and especially if I take them out of the four walls that they're used to being in, and then I bring them over to the chamber and do an event with the exact same people, with the exact same content, let's say, but in a different location with a different dynamic, and it's Martha's room, quote unquote, your conversions will be significantly higher with that event. So my way of saying, and for everybody listening as well, not only do you want to be doing chamber events and participating in them, which is fine and that's great, but you also want to be doing what I'm going to refer to as Martha events as well. It's important.
Yes.
Cool, bananas?
Good idea. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
awesome.
you.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, Martha, but get that next event. Don't wait 2 months to do the next event. I'd get one going in 2 weeks. That's what I do.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Carl.
Awesome. Okay, you bet. Good job. Good job. I'm going to put you back on mute. And next up, I'm back. Martin, we've got you open. Yo, Martin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me okay?
We sure can. How's it going, Martin? What's happening?
Very well. Thank you very much. Hey, I really like this idea about this virtual coaching program what do you call it?
virtual event. Yep.
Yeah, virtual event.
Coaching mastery.
Is there going to be some type of a promo sheet or a site or something that's going to tell who the speakers are and what the topics are? It would be a really good recruiting tool and an incentive for somebody to, for us to use to get new coaches.
Yes. See, Martin, guys, you're listening. This is Martin. You see what he's really doing in a very kind way. Going, Carl, you're missing an opportunity here to get more people to your event. Okay, just so everybody knows what's going on here. Martin, we love you, dude. And Gabs, what we're doing is we're emailing it out, and it's going to have all the topics, and we're kind of going to drip on everybody over the next, until November. It's on Friday the 13th, the first day. So yes, I love it, and I hear you loud and clear, and that's why you're Martin. Appreciate it, man, and yes, we will. And we're not so much going to do the speakers, but what we're doing is the topics because we want everybody to come and have them juiced. But yeah. Love that idea. And how's everything else going, Martin? Let everybody hear what's going on in Martin's world, man. You're the man. Like I said, guys, I opened him up earlier, but we couldn't chat to him. But Martin would rival. I don't know, man. You can tell everybody how long you've been doing this, man. But you've been doing it for a very long time, Martin. Give him the Martin Howie 101, would you, please?
Well, it's not right. I started my first business in 1966. That's 54 years ago. And then I started, I was coaching, or not coaching, but speaking for corporations and companies, teaching them sales and marketing. And then I discovered, sales and management. Then I discovered marketing. I got into that and started a company 44 years ago. And we put on about 4,300 consultants in 66 countries. And so I recently kind of downsized from that. And I'm just doing this thing with Carl and Adrian and Patrick, the one who just offended a whole bunch of women. So, but we'll still.
No, there are only two.
Yeah, exactly. And
no,
I take Martha. She's good with him.
This program, the LPW program, if you don't understand, don't realize it, you've got a gold mine right here. It rivals anything you can find in the marketplace about coaching or consulting. It will run heads and shoulders above everything else that's out there. These guys work really hard. I know how hard they work, but they put together a program that just absolutely rocks. And the biggest problem, other than overwhelm, and that's a big problem we've already discussed, the biggest problem is people just don't take action. Just follow the system. If you pay the money and you take the time to get into this program, don't go back and try to reinvent the wheel. Just follow the system. The system's been proven over and over and over. And if you do it, it only takes a handful, 6 or 8 clients, and you can make yourself $300,000 a year with just 6 or 8 clients. But you have to understand the system on how it works. And you have to understand the value you bring. It's not, understand, and I see this so much, people are just undercharging for what they have to offer. You don't charge based on what you think you would pay. You charge based on the results that you can produce for somebody else. If I can add $100,000 worth of additional profits, not revenue, profits over and above all the expenses that you have, money in your pocket, what's that worth to you? And listen, if you don't take advantage of it, but it's your competition who does, where does that put you and where does it put them? And I always look at this, like every business has what's called a marketing universe. That's the area they operate in. A chiropractor or a dentist, most people just don't go more than 3 to 5 miles away to go to a dentist or a chiropractor or a local business. And so if you're looking for a business, a printer in this particular area, if you don't take advantage of me, Mr. Printer, of this offer I have, I'm going to find somebody else in this area that is. And what if I put that $100,000 into their bank account and not yours? What do you think they would do with that money? They may pay off some loans, they may buy a new car, they may take a vacation, but they're going to take some of that money and put it back into marketing. And the people that are going to go in are the people who are already buying printing. You don't have to convince anybody to buy printing. They're already buying printing. They're just not buying it from them. So who are they buying it from? They're buying it from you. So you're just funding, in effect, you're funding your competition to take your business away from you. It's as simple as it.
Martin, if I may, guys, this is, again, Martin, no doubt you guys hear that it kind of falls out of his mouth like, melted butter. But like really where Martin goes automatic, like he just basically closed everybody on coaching. And I don't know, he spoke for 2 minutes there, Martin. And a minute and 15 seconds of it was disturbing them about if they don't move forward with this opportunity, their competition is going to, and then where's that going to leave them? Okay, so Martin's not trying to jump up and down, clap hands, and high five this guy. He's trying to disrupt this guy. We talk about this all the time. And by the way, your Everything is Wrong video that Pat just redid and is on your website. So if you just go to your membership site and then you go /wrong, you're going to see the new video. And when you watch that, a big part of like the role that video plays for you is a lot of what Martin just did. It disrupts them to say that, I bet your marketing looks like this. And if it does, it's not working. It's never going to work. And you lit a whole bunch of money on fire in the past. You need to stop. When I get together, let's talk about it. That's what that video does for you. So I love it, Martin. And no doubt you get like that just comes so naturally to you, right? Like it's automatically where you go, correct?
Well, it is. And you know, and here's the thing. If somebody doesn't want to make a decision right now, and they'll say, many times they'll say, well, I don't know. I need to think about it. Well, tell me, what is it that you need to think about? Is there something I've missed? Is there something you don't understand? Is there something I can explain to you? No, I think I have it all down. Okay, so it's just a matter of a yes or no decision. Is that what I'm hearing? Yes. Well, how long does it take you to make that yes or no decision? How much time do you think you'll need? Well, I need a couple of days. I'll tell you what, I'll be happy to give you that. You can take all the time you want. There's no problem at all. I'll give you 24 hours, and I'll reserve the spot for you for 24 hours. If I don't hear back from you in that 24-hour period, I'm going to assume that the temporary no you gave me right now is a permanent no. And I'm going to move on to talk to somebody else. See, if I wait 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, whatever time you need, that's affecting my income, my employees, and my family. And it's affecting another business that could take the opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity, and their business and their employees and their families. So it's not really fair for me to give you more than, say, 24 hours. I'll give you all the time you want, and I'll protect this. But at the end of 24 hours, I'm going to go talk to somebody else in your marketing area because I need a printer in this marketing area. So this is real simple. You know, when you put it down to, you're affecting. And by the way, if your clients don't do the money or don't do the work, rather, you're basing your income on a percentage of what you generate for them. They don't do the work, then fire that client. Just let them know, I can't afford to work with you. I can go out and work with somebody else for the same amount of time, and I can make the money that you're supposed to be making me, right? So there's just these little things. I'll just run through this very quickly. But
yeah, love it. Keep going.
Process. We can take more time, but a real simple process for making sure that people do the work. If they don't, you can't afford to work with them. Not for your $9.97 a month. You can't afford to work with somebody for that. You've got to have more. If they're not going to do the work, and by the way, you have to understand what that retainer is for. A couple of things that retainer is for, and a couple of things the contingency is for. That retainer really is to cover you for doing all the upfront work you have to do, and it's also skin in the game for them. You'll have people say, "Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't, if you're so good, why don't I just pay you a higher percentage? I'll pay you more of a percentage, and we don't pay anything on the retainer." Well, you don't have any skin in the game. Why would I do that? The more money you can get from them, the more skin in the game you can get for them, the more likely they are to do the work. Because if they don't do the work, there's no return on that investment. So it's really important to charge a significant retainer and then a percentage. That because the more they charge, the more skin in the game, the more they're likely they are to do the work. So we have a whole system of going through that process. But
yeah, love it. So, and no doubt what you found is the same as I, like when you put the contingency in, your conversions are higher and your prices are higher, significantly higher, but your conversions are higher than if you leave the contingency out and just do a flat, whatever number, call it $2,000 a month. Do you experience that?
Absolutely. See, look, I'll charge minimum $3,000 a month. Now somebody says, well, nobody's going to pay me $3,000 a month. Oh, wait a minute. What if you had, and I have a whole calculator that talks about this, about if somebody pays you, if you go out and find an employee for $3,000 a month, what kind of an employee you're going to get? Probably a low-skilled secretary or receptionist or somebody there that doesn't have a lot of skill. Now, not $36,000 rather. You're going to end up paying $48,857 because you have to pay their Social Security, their Medicare, their unemployment tax, federal, state, health insurance, employer retirement contribution, or workers' comp, not counting their desk and their computer and all the rest. you have a $36,000 employee that you're really going to pay $48,857 for as a non-revenue generated employee, they're a cost. Now, businesses need those employees, but they're a cost. They don't make any money for the business. On the other hand, they pay you $36,000. Let's say you create $100,000 in new revenue for them, and then you take 10% of that. They're paying you $48,000. Now remember, they already paid that other person $48,857, who is the total cost. They just paid you $48,000, but they also put $90,000 in the pocket, right? Because you created $100,000, they paid you $10,000 of that, so they have $90,000 left over. So $3,000 is a reasonable amount to charge a company when you explain it to them what the cost is. Right now, if you had 6 clients paying you $36,000, that's $216,000. That's not bad, and you're not even counting any contingency on top of that. Well, if we charge 10%, anywhere between 8 and 14% typically is a range that we use on the increased revenue you generate for them. Now, if they pay you $3,000 a month, you know they're going to do something, right? They have to do something, because if they don't, that $3,000 is an expense or a cost to them. So the only way they can recover that or get an ROI on it is if they do something that you tell them to do. Otherwise, it's a cost, right? So that's their skin in the game. But it also pays you for all the upfront work you have to do, interviewing the employees, interviewing some of their customers. Why did you buy from this company? Why are you still buying from them? What are you buying from somebody else that you could be buying from this company? Why are you staying with all these questions that you have, right? So now we get an idea of what their employers are looking at, what their customers are looking at. We know what their competition is doing. Now we have something that we can really go back and build a whole system for them and show them exactly what they could do to grow their business. That's what the $3,000 a month pays you. So our guys get anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000, but I would never go below that. Just not worth it. I mean, time is something. But you get 6 clients.
Keep going, Mark. Keep going.
$3,000 a month. That's $216,000. That'll put you, with your contingency, will put you over $300,000 with 6 clients. Now, if you do it right, you set your business up right, each client will take you between 2 and 3 hours a week. So you're looking at 6 clients between 12 and 18 hours a week. What are you going to do with the rest of the time? Well, I don't know. Maybe you like fishing. Maybe you like to play golf. Maybe you like to do something else. Or maybe you like to do some group coaching. See, but it just doesn't take very much time. When you really sit down and you install a system, I always like to look at the guy in the circus. He has a broomstick, and he puts a plate on top of it. And he spins that plate. He can't put the second broomstick and plate up until he gets the first one going by itself. Then he gets the second one, and then the third one. And after a while, he has to come back because number 1 is starting to fall down. He has to crank that up a little bit. And pretty soon, all he's doing is juggling these different plates and sticks. Well, those are the systems you install in a business. You get one system going, and when you get that going, you get up another one, and you get another one. And pretty soon, you have to come back and say, well, let's see, how was that first system working? We had to crank it up a little bit because things have changed, right? Your business is doing better. We need to crank that up and do a little bit more on that. So it's just a matter of getting these systems installed, and you can keep busy it only takes a couple of hours a week to do that. It's not a complicated, it's the easiest business I've ever seen to make a lot of money in.
Yeah, well, 80% margins help, right? Where else can you do that?
Yeah.
I love it. If I may, Martin, I just want to go, when Martin started what he just did there, he started with, again, takeaway. Like basically he's calling, instead of they're saying maybe, he called it a temporary no. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Okay. So he called it your temporary no. I'll assume it's like a proper no. So he starts with that. Okay. And then the second thing, just like, as you hear him rattle that off, I want you to think about the confidence in his voice, right? Like he's not speaking from a place of golly gee willikers, I hope. He's like almost from a grandfatherly kind of like, look, I'm going to look after you and I'm going to nurture you through this decision, because you're either going to say yes or you're going to make a bad decision. And I'm happy for you to make a bad decision, but do understand that I leave and it's game over. And earlier you heard him talk about how he's going to go to the competition, and that's probably not going to work out too well for them, right? But I just want to bring those two. He comes out very, very naturally. And of course, Martin's done it 10,000 times. So don't think that you're going to be able to just do that tomorrow. But do understand that, the way Martin, you know, and no doubt, Martin, you'll back me. Like, I presume you'll agree that the way you're able to do that so naturally is just because you've done it over and over and over and over and over again, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right. You know, there's one other thing that I just want to mention. If I leave,
yeah.
if you can have all the time you want, and it doesn't matter to me how much time you take. I'll give you 24 hours. I'll protect your spot for 24 hours before I do anything with anybody else. By the way, if I don't hear back from you, I'm not going to call you back. You've already told me no. I'm not going to call you back and try to resell you on something. You already have you told me you had all the information you need. You didn't need anything else. It's a matter of a yes or no decision. So unless I hear from you, I'm going to move on. Right now, that builds a little bit of fear in them because I'm not going to chase them. I'm not going to come back to them. They already know what I have. They know how it'll benefit them. They know what it'll cost them. They know what kind of result they're going to get. And they also know that if they don't take advantage of it, I'm not coming back. I'm going down the street. Why would I come back? They already told me no.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And by the way, and importantly, oh, sorry, Pat, just give me a sec. So he said a minute ago, you know, I'm going to give you 48 hours. If you remember earlier, he threw it to the other guy. He threw it to his prospects and he said, I understand you need to think about it and I'm okay with that. How long do you need to make a decision? They said 48 hours and that's how we established that he's going to give you 48 hours. But after that, we're not coming back, right? Because good business owners make hard decisions quickly. And if you're not the kind of person that makes hard decisions quickly, I don't really want to be working with you. And again, and by the way, this will feel uncomfortable, guys. Like what Martin just did, again, if you've never done what he just did, like that takeaway sale, it's not going to feel real natural. And the first time you do it, look, you might make a meal of it. I can remember the first time I saw this done. So like what would happen if I was going to sell you consulting and you said, okay, first question I would say, so who other than yourself would need to be there to make a decision on getting some help with your marketing and your business? And you said, you know, myself and my wife, or, you know, you and your husband, or my business partner. When I got there and the business partner wasn't there or the wife wasn't there, and yes, I just drove 45 minutes and fought traffic and paid $10 for parking or whatever it was, I pick up my stuff and I leave. The end. Done it many a times, and I would do it again tomorrow if the opportunity, because you don't get it. What's going to happen is they're going to say, I need to speak to my wife. And by the way, they'd be telling you the absolute truth. I pick up my goodies and go, because you'll never be able to remanufacture the magic of that moment, like the process of selling coaching. Like, again, you sell it at the end. And if you can't sell it at the end of that moment, like in the intensity, they're not going to go away, speak to their wife, speak to their husband, speak to their business partner, and come back and say, she thinks it's an amazing idea. It's just not the way it works. And of course, there will always be anomalies, but we don't deal with anomalies. We deal with percentages. So you pick up your goodies and go. What I'm getting at is that no doubt the first time that I saw that done, I wasn't, you know, in charge of the quote unquote sales process. And I was like, wow. And I felt like a real jerk, right? Like picking up our stuff. And, you know, these people had gone out of their way to, you know, set up the boardroom and all that sort of stuff. And we just pick up our goodies and left. But I learned a very, very valuable lesson. And we came back, whatever it was, 3 days later, a week later, whenever, and they closed and, you know, they paid the dough. So it's something you should do. What I'm getting at is that it's not something necessarily that takeaway sale that Martin just did. It's not going to come naturally, or I'd be amazed. It definitely didn't for me. But once you've done it a few times, it will start to come naturally, but it's of critical importance. It's positioning is what it is. Like if you don't message me back in 48 hours as we're agreeing, I won't be chasing you. Like you just gave me a temporary no. And if I don't hear back from you in 48 hours, I'll just take that as a no. And I'm going to move on, and I'm going to, you know, get another roofer in Kelowna. Anyway, so just a little bit of one-on-one sales here, guys. But again, Martin's a master at this, and that was impressive.
Carl, let me just mention a couple of things. First of all, when they say, I'll ask them how much time do you need, and they'll say maybe 48 hours or 2 or 3 days. Well, I'll say, look, you can have all the time you want. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to protect protect you for 24 hours. You can take whatever time you want. At the end of 24 hours, if you come back to me, at the end of 24 hours, I'm going to start to market to somebody else. I'm going to talk to somebody else. If I still have availability after that and you come back to me, we can discuss it. I'm not going to give them the 48, whatever, they can have whatever time they want, but I'm only going to give them before I talk to somebody else. Now, let me tell you about this other thing about the appointments and about making sure your wife is there. You set that up at the very first call. By the way, like just what you said, is there anybody else that needs to be present before you can make a decision? So you set that up and you do it 2 or 3 times to make sure it's clear. Then before you ever leave the house or your office or wherever you are, you have your wife or somebody call them and say, hey, Martin's on his way. He'll be there in a few minutes. I just want to make sure that these things are in place, right? You have your homework done, you have this person there, whatever it is. If they say, well, someone can't make it, then you haven't left home yet. But they think you're on the way. So they're going to make sure they have that person there. Now, if you get there and that person isn't there, then what you do at that point, you say, listen, I'm sorry, but you confirmed with us a couple of times that person was supposed to be here and they're not here. We're going to have to rebook the call. All right, so now you leave. And I said, well, wait, can't we do this? Well, listen, can I be real straight with you? You told me a couple of times and you confirmed to me that this person was going to be here. And right now, you just, has happened, you haven't come through on your end of the bargain. If we're going to have this kind of a problem at the very beginning, when we're trying to work together, what's going to happen later on? If I come up with an idea and try to share it with you, it's just going to help you in your business, how do I know you're going to implement it? You see, you haven't been straight with me up front. So you have I'm just going through this very quickly, but we have a whole process to go through this. If they're going to not be straight with you up front and not follow through on the agreements that they had up front, they're going to cheat you on something else too. So it's really important that you get that nailed down and you stick to your guns. When you get there, if that other person isn't there, you pack up and leave.
Yep, love it. Yeah, that's good. I love you haven't left home yet. They think you're on your way. That's awesome. I love it. There you go, folks. There are some sales tips on steroids. But again, I'm just going to bring your attention back to the confidence. You see the way Martin's presenting it, like he's a fatherly, grandfatherly, doing you a favor. You know what I mean? Like he's just nurturing you through. I remember hearing Zig Ziglar. Somebody asked him why he was such an amazing speaker, and he said that the way he spoke was he would be on stage and he pictured that it was he was speaking to a 5-year-old boy, his son or his grandson, whatever, had been a bad boy. And he was trying to, not reprimand him, but nurture him into making better decisions in the future. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so good, right? That's like an example and, positioning where like your voice and your tonality and where you come from. Again, picture yourself in that situation, how differently you speak. And that's what Zig Ziglar said, a big part of what made him Zig Ziglar. So there you go. Martin, thank you very much, my man. Much appreciated, boss. Oh, you still with us, Martin? You there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. Just saying thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. High five.
Good chatting with you.
Thanks, Martin.
Thanks, buddy. Okay. I just put Martin on. I'm sorry, Pat. I think I might have cut. Was there something you were going to say, buddy?
No, we got about 10 minutes left, right? So we got Dave McKenzie, I think, has a question there.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Dave McKenzie. Yes, Dave, you're live, my friend. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Fabulous.
I love what Martin had to say, but
that was good.
Some people might find it aggressive, but not overly. But I really learned something on not interested, or I have to think about it, and saying, well, if you need to think about it, usually I find it's one of 2 things. 1, you're not interested, or 2, you're not sure. Which are you? And what do most people answer?
Not sure.
Not sure. So then you say, well, that's good. Now, when I find people say they're not sure, it's one of 3 things. It's either the fit, the function, or the finances. And which one is you? And that. So, and what is it most of the time? Finances. Yeah, exactly. And
I like it. Fit, function, or finances. Well done. Yeah. I like the 3 F. That's a beauty.
And I agree with you 100%, Carl, on packing up your bags when not all the decision makers are there. And that I've done that many times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear what you're saying about being like aggressive. And for everybody listening, again, you probably don't have Martin's Moxie
Martin's
Jam,
experience, exactly.
But I would dare say that, look, at the end of the day, that if you don't push them, they're not going to make a decision. And if they don't make a decision, they don't win. You don't win. Everybody loses. So, you're better.
And I'm not disparaging what Martin was saying. I mean, he's got a lot of experience, but there's other ways just a little more comfortable.
Yeah. Everybody's style needs to be their own, most definitely. Yeah, but no doubt you'd understand that most folks are way too passive and way too soft.
Right.
So you're going to go.
So there's
much
other
harder.
A little more. Yeah. So you're speaking to Zig Ziglar.
No, I wouldn't. No, I just.
No, I wouldn't. You mentioned his name.
Oh yeah, I love him. Yep.
So Brian Tracy.
Yep.
You know that name. Where was he born?
Yep. Brian Tracy? I get no idea.
Where's he from?
Possibly the Maritimes. I don't know. I'm going to guess the Maritimes.
Charlottetown, PEI.
Is he?
Yeah,
there you go. Really? I didn't know that
this week. And
boom.
So Brian Tracy and I have something in common.
Well, channel your inner Brian Tracy for the rest of the day, man.
Exactly.
There you go. You're dangerous. I love it. All right, buddy. We appreciate it.
Okay, man. Thank you.
I think it's a good, let me see a good example of how cultures work. Like, Canadians are overall, it seems like more apologetic, more polite, less aggressive.
Yeah.
And, so if you're talking to someone in Philadelphia, you want to ramp it up and bring up the volume about 3x and get in their face a little bit more and not be apologetic. But if you're in PEI or some places of Canada, and a lot of places of Canada, you're going to tone it down and be less American. And, it's just a matter of where you are and what you're comfortable with. I'm not sure about other cultures, but Australia, different places. But anyway, that's kind of outside of where we want to end this call. I'd be interested to see if there's any questions on the software. This has been really valuable, and I'm taking notes, and I'm glad it's recorded. But I wonder if anyone has any questions on how the software works before we end off today.
Let's have a look here. That's Pat's way of saying, guys, get your act together here. This is a Q&A call for software. All right. Okay, Gary Damp. Gary Damp just said, we were just talking about cultures and whatnot, and Gary, who is well and truly Australian, no doubt you guys have heard him many times here. He says, in Australia, you're an idiot until you prove otherwise. I love it. And, which, by the way, is not far wrong. In fact, I lived in Australia for 15 years, by the way, folks, so I'm well qualified to speak on this topic. But I can tell you that Australians, on average, are the most intelligent buyers that I have experienced. What I mean by that is they're not like, yes, no people. They are that, look, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do my due diligence. But I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do my due diligence and then not do it. I'm actually going to do my due diligence, and I'm going to come back to you with an informed reason. And if I say no, I'm going to give you a reason, and probably in point form notes. And if I say yes, I'm going to say yes with some point form notes and explain to you why I'm going to say yes. And then if I haven't made a decision yet, I'm going to send you in advance a number of questions that you need to have prepared an answer to. And then we'll go through it. So, and then like in the UK, they are pessimistic on steroids, right? So not so much that you're an idiot, but just pretty much everything is no before they get going. So, anyways, but that's a really good point, Pat, you bring up in that understanding the culture and the kind of, it comes back to on a different topic, but similarly, right? Like just understanding the person that you're talking to and what you're going to need to get it done. So,
yeah, I have dreams actually about the software for different cultures because maybe some disk in there or something, because I think there's a place where we can figure out ahead of time, and maybe it's in the future with more artificial intelligence or something, we can figure out ahead of time different ways to ask questions according to who that person
personality.
is. Yeah,
interesting. Interesting.
It's a different call, but maybe we'll get William and Kelvin doing some artificial intelligence for us. Send them down that
There we
path.
go. Sounds good. Okay, Diane, we're going to try you one more time. Diane, if you could unmute yourself there. Oh, there she is. Hang on. Oh, shoot. There you are, Diane. There we go. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Yes, I don't know what happened earlier. Sorry, but hello from Arizona.
That's okay. No problems. No problems. How's it going, Diane? Good to have you here.
It's going. Yeah, it's awesome. So I've been in messing around, getting comfortable with the Profit Acceleration software, and I was a little hung up because I couldn't figure out where the ROI for coaching was. But I discovered it while we were sitting here talking, and I found that little box where you put in the coaching fee, so I understand where that goes now. But I do have a second question, if it's okay.
Yep, sure.
Go.
Is the Profit Acceleration software the same as digital marketing software? Or are they two separate software programs?
No. Pat, could you show her, please?
Yeah. Well, actually, they're in the same platform, but they're a different module set. So here you can see on the Profit Jumpstart, we've got these 12 areas. If you go to the Breakthrough 40, we've got the 40 areas basically. We can open them all up. And then if you go to the Digital Jumpstart, we've got 16.
See the topics
here.
Diane, see the topics on the left-hand side? Well, actually, right in the middle, actually. See how they're totally different? Digital advertising, social media.
Yes, I do.
So we've got the 8 that really focus on digital and 7 others. And if we look at the Digital Breakthrough 40, we've also got it so you can open them all up and you can see under Digital Acceleration, we've got the 8 areas, and under, we call it Strategic Innovation. We want to help digital marketers think more strategically. So we've got these here as well. And I'm, there it is, market dominating position. Okay, so we've got them all there. So just laid out a little differently, but they're all in your software. If you've also picked up the Digital Acceleration software, and you find that by creating a new assessment and doing module set, you'll see them here or under digital.
Actually, Pat, that's new. Could you show it? Could you just scroll down there and show everybody? And Diane, you need to execute. If you want, do you have Digital Acceleration? Do you know? Did you get it?
I don't know. I'm going to look while we're talking because I have it pulled up on my computer.
Okay. If you don't know, you probably don't have it. What you need to do is go to no results - no fee, right? Like our domain name /DA software as in Digital Acceleration, DA software. And then, go there and then you got to execute it. It's a one-time fee of, I believe, $200. Is that right, Pat?
Yeah, $197.
$197. And then it opens up. But for a bunch of different reasons that you probably already could guess, it's well worth doing. So, Pat, could you just open that up so everybody can see how that? So we see how it's a little bit. Can you just scroll down just a touch if you don't mind? You guys can see the way Digital Acceleration now is separated from Profit Acceleration, just to make it super clear so you know exactly where you're going and what you're up to. So that's so Digital Acceleration, Diane. I'd imagine that you don't have that bottom bit. But you probably don't if you haven't executed it, or you don't if you haven't executed it. So that's how you get it.
I do not. So I will do that. Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. So just DA software. Awesome, Diane. Thanks so much. Is that all? You all good?
That's it.
Fabulous. Okay, put you back on mute. Well, folks, that brings us to the end here. Just having a look here. Hang on. Gary is agreeing that Aussies are a pain in the butt. Love it. Love it. Anyways, okay, cool. Look, guys, as always, we appreciate you. Martin, you're still listening. Super appreciate that. That was very impressive. Got a few comments there. People giving you a high five, and that was impressive. Again, I want you to go away thinking about just the way that Martin did that is the exact way. I've never sat with Martin and watched him close a coaching client. but I guarantee it sounded insanely similar to the way that he did it. He's done it a zillion times, so he does the same thing over and over again. But I'm not talking about the words. I'm more talking about the tonality and the way in which he was speaking. Like I said, that fatherly, grandfatherly way. Really try and adopt that. You're doing them a favor. When they buy coaching from you, who's doing who the favor? Okay, and you could hear the way that Martin was speaking, his opinion, he's absolutely doing them a favor by accepting them as a client. And I do get the fact that some of you don't have, that much experience. So again, it's a little bit intimidating and a little bit hard to do, but practice makes perfect, right? So that's something that I want you to adopt. And again, Pat does it the same. I do it the same. Adrian does it the same. It's just, it's attitude, right? Remember, 7% of communication is words. 7% of communication are the words that you use. The other 93% is tonality, speed, certain words. You're influencing certain words over others, trailing off, etc. So thinking about that, folks, very, very powerful. So we appreciate Martin doing that, and I hope you guys all took that, noticed that, and adopted. So there we go. Pat, any closing remarks for our fine folks before we go?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to Martin as well. And, when I hear him talk, and I just think, okay, here's someone who has so much more experience closing clients than I do. And I tell you, when Martin talks, I take notes, and I want to come back and listen to this recording again, because if you can hear his tonality and what he says and how he scripts it and how he says, well, this is what happens if you don't buy, and he just does it so gently, so nicely. Practice that close. Yep. Like, we want to be people that are using the software on ourselves. We can increase our own initial close rates, 3%, 5%, 10% a year. And practicing a close like that will help you close more clients. But you got to do the work. You got to put it in. You got to do the practice, and you got to go out and use it with clients and see what happens. So thank you, Martin.
Agreed.
Again. The others who added his advice on how to respond to people. It's so valuable, those 3 Fs. It's like, that's just such, but you got to have it on the tip of your tongue, and you don't get it on the tip of your tongue unless you practiced it. So, there you go.
I agree. Yeah, very good. Yeah, that was Dave McKenzie who gave us that little bit. What was it? Function, it's either, what is it? It's function or finances. What was the other one? Do you remember? Fit. There you go. Fit. Well, so there you go, folks. Steal that one as well. But excellent. Appreciate you guys. Pat, we always appreciate you. And folks, we will be, what day is it? Thursday. Okay, so next Tuesday, we'll be back in a little bit different time, but the same place. So we look forward to seeing you then. And again, get some questions going, guys. They help the whole thing keep flowing. So get into your software and come armed with some questions. Appreciate you guys. We will speak to you on Tuesday.